All right, everybody, let's go ahead and lie down on our backs today. We'll get started in a supine position. Bend your knees and set your feet flat on the ground and open your feet kind of wider about to the edges of your mat and let the knees fall together. And then take your hands, place them on your body, and just going to feel a moment. Just have a moment to connect. Physically, we're here, our presence. As far as roll call goes, we're here. But then aligning our actual presence, our intention, the why we're here, our full presence. Presence is like a hot commodity these days, difficult to find. A lot of busyness, a lot of stimulation and distractions. But you showed up today to spend an hour to practice presence. So let's just take a deep breath in through the nose. Notice what it feels like just to inhale, whole inhale. And then let that go. Again, the inhale represents femininity, receiving, take it in. And the exhale, strength or masculinity as you let it go. And then one more time, let's hold the breath so we can really get an imprint of that feeling of inhaling. Something we understand very well is the intake of food or the elimination of food. We don't think about the breath that way for some reason. Let's think about that a little bit more today. Sip in a little bit more oxygen and then let that go. Good. And then start to breathe deeply, but more in your own way, your own rhythm. Let's heel toe the feet a little closer together so they're a stable distance apart. Reach your arms behind you and hold your elbows so your hands clasp your elbows. Press your feet down a lot and slowly is the key word, start to lift your hips all the way up. And if you're lucky, your elbows might be pressing against the ground, but don't worry if they're not. As your hands hold the elbows, kind of making a little box behind your head. Feet are hips distance apart, a little closer for you, and the hips are high. And you're pulling a little bit on the arms just to activate your triceps, any rhomboid, deltoid, lat muscle, anterior serratus. These are just names of muscles. And then lower your hips all the way down. Change the cross of your arms so the opposite arm shifts in front. Same thing, just a different approach. And then start to lift your hips up again. So again, you're just holding your elbows behind your head. You're using this technique to broaden the shoulder blades. Feeling a softness in the belly and a contraction on the posterior chain, hamstrings, glutes. Good, and then lower your hips down again. Reach your arms forward this time. Lift your head and shoulders off the ground. Reach your arms forward again. Lift your head and shoulders off the ground. Good, and then inhale, reach your arms straight back, rest your head down, and lift your hips up back to a bridge pose. Good. Exhale, slowly lower the hips down, reach your arms forward, lift your head and shoulders up again. Inhale, reach it back, and raise your hips. And then exhale, lower the hips, reach forward, lift your head. Do this a few times on your own. So some of you are a little slower, some of you are a little faster, but don't be caught up in the pace, more about your breath, inspiring the movement. We're just trying to stimulate some very necessary muscles for stability. Wake up all of the stabilizing core muscles. Good. And we just got an hour together today, so I'm going to just do two more. So an hour is just enough time to kind of scratch the surface of getting into what we want to get into physically. The next time you lower your butt, reach your legs up, reach your arms up. Legs up, arms up, lift your head and shoulders up. And just reach as high as you can reach for about 10 seconds. And for the last 5, reach a little higher. 3, 2, can you go higher at 1? And then relax. Nice job. Hug the knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. And then let's rock and roll back and forth a few times. Forward and back, like a little massage on the spine. And let's come all the way up to the front of the mat. Make sure you're at the front of the mat for a squat, yogi squat, wide-legged malasana. Feet can go as wide as you need them to go. For me, it's about here. Let's place the hands together in front of the heart center. Let's breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. So that feminine inhale goes through the nose, over the back of the throat, makes a sound. Into the chest, the belly expands. And then we tone the belly to press the air out. Try it again. Breathe in. Let's hear it. And exhalation, Ujjayi breath. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. And full sound inhale. Smooth exhale. This is also how we use our voice. Deep diaphragmatic breath in for Om. And release your hands down and forward fold. Turn your feet into parallel. Let's have the feet about hips distance apart and hold the elbows just like we did. Make a little box around your head. Soften the knees, maybe swing a little left and right. And just know that that baseline of breathing that we just started with and that Om and that squat, that's what we want to try to keep as the common denominator throughout the practice today. Poses are just noise. Really doesn't matter if we do 2 down dogs or 25. It's more about how we do this stuff that's going to make the difference. So you're holding the elbows kind of like we did. Put a micro bend in your knees at a minimum. Start to lift your elbows higher and higher like you're trying to touch them to the front of the room. And then come into, we call it like a flat back with your elbows leading the way. So maybe your elbows are higher than your head, possibly. And then you could bend the knees more if you feel unsafe. Give yourself a couple of deep breaths, weights in the front of your feet. Beautiful. Let's take one more breath here and then release the hands down and hang. Good. Let's change the cross of the arms. We'll do that one more time. So I bend my knees a little more than most of you just to protect my back, but you don't have to bend them. Do it one more time. Pull your elbows forward and out and up. Pull on your arms. And can you recruit a little more of your core strength, less back strength? That's it. Let's take one more breath here, and then release and fold hands down. Good. Step the left foot to the back of your mat. Lower your left knee down, scoot it back a little bit. Raise your arms up and over your head. Good. Now start this by hooking your thumbs over your head, reaching up higher with your arms, and look a little bit down. You can draw your chin down just a little bit. Just go up, 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 up with your arms. That's going to, what you feel is your back ribs lifting, not your front ribs. If you start to look up, you're going to lose it. So look down. Beautiful. And then cactus your arms, bend your elbows, now look up. This is your front ribs lifting. It's like your ribs are opening off your spine. It's peeling off your spine. Yeah, some people like to pull the hands a little further back, get into that front upper chest. And we'll take one more inhale with those cactus arms. And then release your hands down as you exhale. Tuck your back toes and lift your back knee off the ground. Good. Hop your back foot in about a foot, maybe 2 feet closer. Spin it flat on the ground. And you can straighten the right leg towards straight. Doesn't have to be all the way straight to get some benefits. Yeah, use your blocks, use your books, whatever sustains your breath. If you are going to use blocks, I would use 2, one under each hand. And then take an extra inhale, kind of lift your chest a little bit, aim the crown of your head forward, and then aim the crown towards your toes. Nice, pretty nice, you guys. Now bend your right knee. It's kind of weird, but I want you to cross your ankles. So left foot will step forward behind your right foot, the front of your mat. Just going to hang for a moment so you feel that. That left foot's on the right side. Good. And then I would bend my knees. You may not need to, but start to stand all the way up and reach your arms up and over your head. And then hold your left wrist with your right hand and start to lean to the side. And then very subtly, but draw your chin down a little bit so you feel a little bit of that rounded spine. You might feel this a little more lower back, lat, or QL area, kidney area. Good, and then reach both arms up, breathe in, and forward fold as you breathe out. Good, and then just step your left foot to the normal stance, to the right, to the left side. Good, step the right foot to the back of your mat. Left foot's at the front of your mat. And lower your right knee down. Good. Reach your arms up and hook your thumbs, opposite thumb in front. And again, mostly for what we're doing today, I know most of the time we want to look up and do that stuff, but look down and just reach up. Feel the ribs close. So it's a core contraction. Yes, looking good. And then bend your elbows, cactus your arms. Maybe look up a little bit and feel the ribs open like the blossoming flower, kind of exposing a bit more vulnerable shape. Good. Let's take one more inhale and then release your hands down to the ground as you exhale. Tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee up. And again, you're just going to step forward but cross your ankles, right foot behind. A little to the left as well of your front foot. And fold forward. And if you feel like you need to bend the knees, please do. Stand all the way up. Reach your arms up. And then grab a hold of your right wrist. Maybe look down as you start to lean and pull on the wrist. Good, and then come back up to center, inhale, and fold over a little bit in the knees on the way down. Good, step your right foot on the other side of your foot. And step the left foot to the back of your mat. Right foot still at the front of your mat. Crescent pose, reach your arms all the way up. Good, let's hook the thumbs again. We're just going over the same muscle memory. Tailbone shoots down. Look down a little bit, but go up higher with your arms and back body. You should feel a core contraction. Beautiful. Now cactus your arms, bend your elbows, release the thumbs. Pull your heart forward and up, 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 up. Good. Now take the hands behind your head. Interlace the fingers and lean forward about halfway. Yeah, kind of weird, right? You're kind of resisting into your hands a little bit. Press into your front foot. Try to lift your back leg off the ground so you're in a warrior 3. And if the hands behind your head is too much, I get it. You can bring the hands to your heart or wherever you want. Or maybe they stay behind your head. Good. Maybe you even reach them forward if you want a little bit more stimulation. Beautiful. And then let's put the hands down first. Take a deep breath in. Cross your left foot behind your right foot again. And stand all the way up. Reach your arms up and over your head. Grab your left wrist with your right hand and lean to the right side of the room. Inhale, reach both arms up. And then forward fold on your exhale. This time is different. I want you to put your hands down. Swing, it's just like it sounds. Swing your right leg straight out to the right. Right foot way up in the air. Good. Now I want you to cross the right foot behind your left foot, but maybe about 6 inches to 12 inches behind and off to the left side of your mat. And then do that with your left leg. Swing it way out to the left. Nice. And then do the same thing. Cross it about 6 inches to a foot behind and off to the right. Take 2 or 3 more steps until you're back in a downward facing dog. Ideally, the hands never move. They stay right where they are. Nice. And then once you're in down dog, drop your knees down to the ground. Bring the hands just a little more underneath you and open your right knee out to the right. And then give yourself a few little circles with your right hip, right knee, just kind of circling into any tension. Yeah. See if you can get to that point where you're really in that self-study mode. Yeah. I know I get it. If it's your first yoga class, we got to look around a little bit. We got to go through that struggle. At some point, we just want to trust ourselves, trust that we have that listening and that intuition. If you haven't switched directions, switch directions. Good. And then switch legs. Set your right knee down. Open the left knee out to the left. Usually the slower you go, you'll find more. You'll miss less. Just moving in a fashion. It's all warming up. I mean, the whole hour is a warm-up. That's the beautiful part about it. And when you're warming up, you don't want to rush. Nice. Last couple rounds if you haven't switched. Good. And then set your left knee down. Look forward. Cat-cow. Arch your back. And then exhale to round your spine. Inhale again. Look forward and arch a little bit. And then exhale, cat, and round your spine. And one more time as you inhale to look forward. And then exhale to round. And then come into a neutral spine and step your feet back one at a time so you're in a plank position, top of a push-up. Now pushing the floor away from you a little bit. Basically, what I want from this is start to round your upper back and then do the opposite. Not quite a back bend, but more of a shoulder thoracic retraction of your shoulder. So you will dip your chest down and then do it again, round. Push and pull a few times with the shoulder girdle. All these scapula push-ups. So you don't need to bend your elbows, but you could. Nice, you guys. And then let's do a couple with the forearms, the elbows on the ground. And then again, see what kind of mobility you can find in your thoracic spine. Push and pull a few times so you can really doming the back, spreading the shoulder blades apart. Good. Now pause in what you consider neutral. And lower your hips down. Drop your knees. Point your toes back, please. You're in a sphinx pose, so your hips are on the ground. You're looking forward if it's okay. Nice. Release your head down to the floor, and on the back of your head, interlace your fingers. Try not to focus on the head so much, though. Focus on the legs. Lift your legs a little bit off the ground, maybe an inch or two. And then lift your head a little off the ground, but lift your elbows higher than your ears. Beautiful. 3 breaths. And any lifting from here comes from your core strength, not from your back strength. Belly pulls in for 2. And 1. Relax your whole body down. Take a child's pose. Balasana, hips to heels. Soften your forehead. That's just familiarity, guys. Some of us have been on our mats millions of times, but never with me. Some of you guys practice with me every day. So we start to gain that familiarity, which is when we feel safe. Feel kind of cradled and held, which is a necessary element of a yoga practice. You want to feel that way. That way you can really let go. Walk your hands back to your knees and sit up, and then stand up on your knees, just like it sounds. Stand up on your knees, and then reach your arms up. Hook your thumbs, just like we did earlier, and look down. Feel how that rounds your spine a little bit. It's okay not to round your spine. Just try not to backbend here. Lean back a little bit, but keep looking down or forward. And as you lean back, try not to back bend. Try not to arch your back. Good. Some of you want to lean back more. That's fine. You can lean back a little bit more. But again, try to look down and create that tension. Good. Now, wherever you are, come back to vertical and step your right foot out in front of you. Just step it forward. Good. Tuck your back toes under and lift your back knee off the ground. So we're back in a familiar pose, but we're going to reach the left arm forward this time and reach the right arm behind us. So you're twisting. As you spread your arms, feel the resistance of your hips and your strong feet pressing down. Good. And this is where it gets a little more interesting. Look to your front hand, press your right hand into your left. You can interlace your fingers here to make it easier, but watch your hands no matter what you're doing. If you want it to be harder, just press your palms together. Now you're going to start to watch your hands and lift your chin up as you back bend. Yeah. And you'll notice resistance in the shoulders at some point. Beautiful. Lean forward about 45 degrees. And then warrior 3. Lift your back leg up, hands wherever you want them to be. Good. And put your hands down. Take one more inhale. And then cross your left foot behind your right. And stand all the way up. Reach your arms up and over your head. And grab your left wrist and lean to the right again. Inhale, reach back up. And exhale, forward fold. Good. Just swing your left foot on the normal side of the right foot. Good. And step the right foot to the back of the mat. Crescent pose. Reach your arms all the way up. Hook your thumbs. Reach your thumbs up, up, up. Look down and just create that nice line. But then bend your elbows and cactus your arms. Release your thumbs. Pull the heart forward and up. And feel how the elbows and the chest feel really broad, really open. Good. Now lean forward about halfway on the back of your head. Interlace your fingers or don't. Some of you didn't do it last time. That's fine. But you're going to lift your back leg up and off the ground. So you're in this kind of funky warrior 3 pose. You feel a bit of resistance, head into hand. Beautiful. Let's put the hands down first and then cross your right foot behind your left. Good. Stand all the way up. Reach your arms up and over your head. Nice. And then grab the right wrist and lean to the left. Inhale, reach everything up. And exhale, forward fold. Remember our circular movement. Swing your left leg as far out to the left as you can, kicking that green wall. And then cross it behind your right foot, but give it a good foot or so back. And then do that with your right leg as well. Circular movements as you step it back. And then do that about 3 or 4 more times with control. Nice. Yeah, I do it on my fingertips too sometimes. It's helpful. Good. And let's kind of shuffle those feet so they're back in a downward facing dog. Nice. Drop your knees down to the ground. Bring the hands under your shoulders. This time lift your left leg straight back and reach your right arm forward into a handshake position. We're going to add to that. Open your right arm out to the right. Start to open your left leg out to the left. Any amount. Might be an inch. You'll get in trouble if you try to match the person next to you. So just go to your own degree. You can find those deep core muscles helping support your lifted limbs. Good. And then reach the arm forward, leg back. Take one more inhale to lift just a touch and release everything down. Switch legs, right leg back, left arm forward. Same idea. So you're just kind of having this awkward balancing pose, opening the left arm out to the left, and then starting to open the right leg a little out to the right or a lot out to the right. As long as you can maintain that soft approach, that taking care of your self element, and a nice deep breath, then you can always take it a little bit further. Left arm forward, right leg back. Breathe in to lift a little, and then set it all down. Step your feet back to plank position, 1 foot at a time. And then round your spine a few times. Push and pull. Notice every time you push, your tailbone tucks. Every time you pull, the tailbone untucks. Don't pull so much you're in up dog, though. Just pull a little bit. Let's do a few on the forearms. Elbows down one by one. Forearm plank pose. Push and pull as you round. It's like flossing your shoulders, just like we do our teeth. And then find what you consider to be a neutral spine. And then slowly lower your hips to the ground. Drop your knees down and untuck your toes. Beautiful. Release your head down to the ground. Same but different. On the back of your head, interlace your fingers, but bend your knees this time. And then lift your knees a little bit off the ground. Lift your head and elbows up. And imagine touching your head to your feet. I mean, don't try to do that, but just imagine in that general direction for 3. Good. 2. And in 1, relax all the way down and take child's pose. Hips to heels, soften your forehead down. Might even kind of rock your third eye a little left and right. Give a little massage. The pineal gland. Good. Let's walk the hands back a little bit. Stand up on your knees. Reach your arms all the way up. Hook your opposite thumb in front. Look down so you're feeling the core already work, and then lean back any degree. You might lean back an inch. You might lean back a lot. There it is. Couple more breaths. Hold the tension. Awesome. All right, let's come back to center. And with a clean, straight line, we're going to step the left foot forward this time. Left foot forward. If you're with me, tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee off the ground. You're in a crescent pose, a familiar one. Reach your right arm in front of you and reach the left arm behind you. So you're in a twist. Yeah, it's just a kind of a clever way to introduce isolation, right? Lower body separate than upper body. Good. Now look at your front right hand. Press your palms together. Feel free to interlace it. Makes it a little easier. And then start to reach your arms higher and higher, watching your hands, adding a little balance. When you're ready, nice and steady, lean forward about 45 degrees. Hands wherever you want them to be for Warrior 3. Lift your back leg up and off the ground. And then let us put the hands down first. Cross your right foot behind your left for the last time. Stand all the way up, reach your arms up and over your head. And then hold on to that left wrist and start to lean to the side. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Step your right foot on the normal side of your left foot. And come into chair pose. Bend your knees up to 90 degrees. Raise your arms up. Yeah, so feet just normal hips distance apart here. Pull your hips away from your fingertips. Yeah, see a lot of strong roots here. The feet are grounded. How about the sky, the connection to the heavens? Raise your chest, your fingers a little higher. Take one more inhale and then stand up. Hands to your heart. On your exhale, let's flow 3 rounds. We're going to come into chair pose. Inhale. Forward fold on your exhale. Salutation. Inhale, lift your chest and lengthen your spine, and then step to plank or maybe jump back and lower down through your first chaturanga, either to the floor or right into upward facing dog cobra as you inhale. And then downward facing dog on your exhale. That should feel nice. Feel free to pedal the legs a little bit. You're basically in an equilateral triangle. So feel that roots of the hands, heels are heavy, and the apex of the triangle is your hips, sloping up, 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 up. Good. Let's raise the heels. As you inhale, bend the knees to look forward, and then walk, step, or lightly jump to the front of your mat. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward right into chair pose today. Bend your knees, sink down, raise your arm. And then stand up, hands to your heart. Right back into a chair pose. Forward fold on your exhale. Inhale, draw the chest forward, get long through your spine, and then step to plank or float back and lower down. Elbows are in kind of tight to the sides. Good, and then blossom the heart, the ribs off your chest. Downward facing dog, and we just do our best. Kind of nice about this practice is it doesn't matter how you feel, right? It matters that you're willing to work with how you feel. And it's different day to day. Like if it's rainy, you feel different. If you didn't get a lot of sleep, if your diet's been off, you feel different. As long as you're willing to work with it, that's all that matters. Let's try it again with your heels lifting. Inhale, your knees are bending. Look forward, stepping or floating through to the top. Inhale, glancing. And then exhale, folding. Chair pose, sink the hips lower than you have so far. Reach up. And then stand up, hands connect to your heart. And right back to chair pose. Inhale, here we go. Forward fold, exhale, head low. Inhale, lengthen the spine like you're synchronizing. Step or jump back and lower slowly down. Breath and movement. So the inhale inspires the back bend. And then the exhale brings you back to down dog again. Nice, you guys. This time's just flying by already. Let's walk the feet to the back of your mat so you're kind of in this awkwardly long down dog. So your hands don't move, just your feet do. But then shift forward to plank and don't move your hands. In fact, if you want to move your hands, that's fine, but move them forward, not back. So you're in this really weird extended plank pose. You see it on some calisthenics websites if you're ever into that stuff. So you're feeling your core work tremendous amount to support the instability you created in your arm. Let's give it a couple breaths just to hold a static, strong position. Good. Now step one, just bring the hands underneath you so you're in a normal plank. And then round your upper back, but stay rounded like we did earlier. Push your heels forward. And then start to tippy-toe your feet closer, like a tippy-toe down dog, and then go even closer, like a really short, maybe halfway to your hands, tippy-toe down dog, halfway to your hands. If you're with me, those heels are up, right? All you're going to do is press the heels down low, and then lift them up about 5 or 6 times, feeling the shoulders move forward and back. Each time you lift your heels, shoulders move forward. Nice. Do this a couple more rounds. Just feel what's happening. Relationship between hands and feet. And then let's walk the feet to the back of the mat. Drop your knees down for a 1-breath child's pose, hips to heels. Good. Walk your hands back to your knees. Stand up on your knees and reach your arms up. Hook your thumbs. Look down because I want you to lean back. Lean back without back bending. You can feel the core nice and strong. Good. Start to come all the way back up to center. Remember this, step your right foot out in front of you. Tuck your back toes and lift your back knee up when you're ready. Reach your left arm forward and reach your right arm back. This time, reach your left arm up and try to hold your back leg with your right hand. If it doesn't reach, no big deal. Reach that left arm higher and higher, maybe back a little bit if you desire. Welcome to your left lateral side. Good. And then all we're going to do from here is reach that right arm kind of down and forward, warrior 2. You're going to spin your back heel flat and swing the left arm behind you. Yes. Sink into your right hip a little bit more. Feel like your right knee is pinned against the right wall. Good. And then turn your right palm up. Let's come into reverse warrior. Sweep your right arm up and back. If anything in the right knee, just bend it a tiny bit more, if anything. And then everybody, let's come back to warrior 2. Place your right elbow on your right knee or thigh. If you'd rather have your hand on the floor, that's fine. And sweep your left arm to the front of the room with your palm facing down. You can kind of feel that spiraling action of your left shoulder. Good. Now let's flow through these last two movements. Legs stay still. Back to reverse warrior. Inhale, sweep it all the way back, reverse. And then exhale, right back where you were. Forearm to thigh. Sweep your left arm over your ear. Inhale again, reach it back, reversing warrior. And then exhale, forearm to thigh, left arm sweeps to the front of the room. Good. Inhale again, reverse your flow. And then windmill your hands down to the ground. Step back to plank pose. Take an inhale to decide. If you want the vinyasa, take it on exhale. Otherwise, we'll meet in downward facing dog. From your down dog, walk your feet back to the back edge of your mat and shift forward to plank position. If you want more, walk your hands further forward. Yeah, this is one that challenges the male ego pretty easily. Maybe even that female ego. Nothing to accomplish, nowhere to go. Just feel a little bit of strength, maybe a little quiver. Doesn't last for long. Good. Step 1, back to normal plank. Hands might walk back. Step 2, round your upper back and push your heels forward. Step 3, tippy toe your feet in about halfway to your hands. And then step 4, you're just going to press your heels up and down. If you want step 5, a new step, you're going to bend your knees and hop both feet off the ground each time you shift forward. Yeah, make sure the shoulders move back with the heels down. And then when you shift forward, bend the knees and hop. Nice. Last 3, 2, and in 1, walk your feet back to downward facing dog. Drop your knees, take that 1 breath, child's pose, hips to heel. Good. Walk your hands back again. Sit up and stand up on your knees. Raise your arms and hook your opposite thumb in front. Look down, lean back to your own degree, and try to get your core to cooperate. Good. Inhale, back to vertical. When you're ready, step your left foot out in front of you. Tucking your right toes under and lifting your right knee up. Nice. Reach your right arm forward. We'll twist. Reach your left arm back. There we go. And then sweep your right arm up, 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 up. And maybe you'll hold your back leg with your left hand. This is like one of my favorite poses these days. I remember way back when this wasn't even possible for me. You just notice how it's always changing. It's always evolving. It's the only thing we can count on. Take an inhale, warrior 2. Left arm sweeps forward, right arm back, back heel down. Nice, guys. You're grounding the feet, right? You got to think about the elements, the earth, the fire's in the belly, the air's coming in and out of your nose, right? The water's circulating through your body, hopefully, if you're hydrated. Turn your left palm up, inhale, reverse warrior, sweep it all the way back. Guys, we're made out of water. Reverse warrior. That should be exciting. Good. And then as you come back to warrior 2, place your left forearm on your left thigh and sweep your right arm out and over your. Remember, you could put your left hand down here if you decide. And that right leg is doing most of the work here. As you inhale, come back to reverse warrior, sweep it all the way back. And then as you exhale, right back where you were, forearm to thigh, sweep the right arm over the ear. 2 more like that. Inhale, sweep it back, reversing warrior. Good, and then exhale, forearm to thigh, sweeping your right arm over the ear. So 1 more time, inhale, sweep it back, reverse. Good, windmill your hands down, come into plank position. Take an inhale if you want it, lower slow on your exhale, otherwise we'll meet in downward facing dog. Good. Walk your feet back a little bit further. Kind of like we've been doing. Shift forward to plank and lower your elbows to the ground. Extended forearm plank. Yeah, if you didn't like the other one, you're going to hate this one even more. Elbows are a bit out in front of your shoulders. Good. Now start to walk your feet in halfway to your elbows. Drive your hips back nice and strong. You can always interlace fingers if you feel like you're not sure what to do with your hands. Otherwise, push your heels really high and then push the heels down about 5 or 6 times. Go slow so you can feel every little nook, every cranny of this pose. Last one. And then drop your knees down. Puppy dog pose, right? You can walk your arms a little further forward from there. Puppy dog is where your hips stay over your knees, but you're trying to get your chest closer to the ground, like you're ironing your armpits out. We teach it with the forehead down, but when you're ready for the second step, we teach it by looking forward, chin down. They're both right. Good. Slowly back to child's pose, just for a moment. All right, and then walk your hands back to your knees. Sit up and stand up on your knees again. Raise your arms all the way up. Hook your thumbs. Look down and lean back to your own degree just for an inhale. And exhale, come right back up to center. Good. Step your right foot forward again. Last time we get to do that, tuck your back toes and lift your back knee off the ground. Reach your left arm forward and your right arm back. Then let's take it into that left arm up, back bending twist. As you take the right hand to your back leg, take a big inhale. Warrior 2, exhale, back heel down, spread your arm. Inhale, reverse warrior, sweep it up and back. And then exhale, right hand to the floor, everybody. Unless you have a block, you can use a block to put your right hand on. Take the left hand behind your back. You can either press it into your body or slip it to the inner thigh. If you want full bind, you can slip the right hand under your right leg and connect hands. Whichever pose you choose, just make sure there's still that same approach with the breath. And you can roll your left chest open. Don't let gravity pull you down here. Remember, this is a stronger pose, so we balance the masculine pose with inhalation, with feminine breath. And with your right hand down, reach your left arm up. Super slowly press into your last warrior 2 on this side. And take one more inhale. Go ahead and straighten your right leg. Exhale. Triangle pose. Reach, reach, reach way, way, way past your right toe. And then float your right hand down. Maybe hold your leg. Good. So then vibrantly reach up through your left arm. And just kind of notice, it's, the ribs are either open or closed or neutral. But just kind of notice that. Beautiful. Place the left hand to the hip. Look down in front of your right toes. Bend your right knee and start to walk your right hand forward about a foot. When you're ready, lift your left leg up and off the ground. You could use a block under your right hand if you need to. For the half moon pose, you can reach your left arm up or maybe catch your left foot. Well, they're both right. Just find a nice open, broad approach. Good. And then let's set the left hand down, square the hips, and then cross your left foot behind your right foot. Stand all the way up, reach your arms up and over your head. Grab your left wrist on exhale, side bend. Inhale, both arms up. You might bend the knees as you fold all the way down. Circular movement. Swing your right leg out to the right. Cross the leg behind, a good 6 inches to a foot behind. Swinging that left leg out to the left. Give yourself about 6 big circular steps total. Then we'll meet in our downward facing dog in a couple more steps. Nice. From down dog, walk your feet back a little bit more. Shift forward to plank position. Lower your elbows down to the ground. Last time today. You're in this extended forearm plank. Good. Round a little bit. Push your heels forward and tippy toe your feet closer in. Drive your hips back, back, back. Now you can have your heels heavy here if you want, but lift your right leg back. Maybe lift your left heel up and down 3 times. Left heel. And then switch, right leg down, left leg back. If it's already too much, why would you lift your right heel? But if you feel like you have a little more, lift that right heel really high and low a few times. And now set your left foot down, look forward, bend your knees, straighten your arms, downward facing dog. That wasn't easy. Drop your knees down, last child's pose, hips to heels, soften your forehead down. Good job. Walk your hands back. We're on our last side to go. Stand up on your knees, please. Raise your arms up. Hook your thumbs. This time, just look forward instead of down. Lean back without back bending. And then come right back up to center. Step your left foot forward. Tuck your back toes under. Lift your back knee up. Right arm forward, left arm back. We're in a twist, and then we twist in the back bend. Reach your right arm up and your left hand to your back leg. Take a big inhale. Warrior 2, exhale, back heel down. Turn your left palm up, inhale, reversing warrior. Then use the block if it's handy, otherwise left hand to the floor inside of your foot. Slip the right hand behind your back, which will put you in that, kind of opens up opportunity. And if you want to take the hands together, go for it. Maybe just one hand's back there. Take in more oxygen than you give out. You're already spending energy in the pose. So why would you spend more energy with your breath? But that's what you'll notice. Go around town, go to the yoga studio, see what's happening. Everybody's pushing, pushing, pushing. With your left hand down and your right arm up. Go slowly. It's your last warrior 2 of the day. We'll take one more inhale to sink a little bit deeper. And then straighten your left leg, triangle pose. Reach to infinity and beyond your left toes. And then float your left hand down to your left leg. And then you're in it. You know, it's just like Monday. The pose is almost over. It just seems to fly by. They say time flies when you're having fun. The only thing is, I don't think everybody's having fun, but time's still flying. I wonder why. Must be the focus. Must not be the fun at all. Look down in front of your toes. Bend your left knee. Crawl your left hand forward. You might go hand to hip to make it easier. And then lift your back leg up and off the ground. And wherever you are, put both hands down on the ground, square your hips, and then cross your ankles, right foot behind your left last time. Stand all the way up, sweep your arms up and over your head, grab a hold of your right wrist, and pull to the left. Inhale, reach it up, and exhale, fold forward. Last time we'll do these circular steps. Swing the left leg way out to the left. Drop it behind your right foot a little further back. Do it with your right again, about 4 to 6 steps. Nice. This will take us into our last vinyasa. Inhale, shift forward to plank. And exhale, lower all the way down to your back bend. Inhale. Downward facing dog as you exhale. All right, guys, drop your knees down to the ground. Stand up on your knees, hands to hips. Slide the thumbs together behind your back, so maybe the fingers are now more behind you, and pull your elbows together. Now this time, push your tailbone down, but lift your chest and chin up, which will automatically put you in a curve or an extended version of this pose. Right? You could even flip your hands around so your fingers point down and lift up, 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 up. If you want, reach back for your heels. This is called Ustrasana, camel's pose. And occasionally this one doesn't do much for people. So if you feel like this one's putting you at risk, just skip it. Nice, you guys. I don't want to rush you out of it, but when you feel ready, use your core to come back up. Sit on your heels. Push your hands into your knees or thighs. Look down, round your spine. Lean back a little bit as you round. Good. And then walk your hands forward. Lie all the way down onto your belly. Nice. On the back of your head, interlace your fingers. Bend your knees. Gently lift everything up. This is actually not a bad place to stay if you're working on back strength. But if you want to go into that back flexibility, then reach back with your hands and catch your feet. Make sure the knees don't go crazy wide here. They stay somewhat stable as you kick the feet into your hands. Either way for 5, you're in a perfect place. You're not straining 4. There's something very massage-like about it for 3, 2, and in 1, release all the way down. Good. Without making too much, fuss about it, just roll over onto your back. You might scoot your butt back onto your mat once you do it, so you're more lined up. And let's give it one more go at the back bend, kind of like we started, feet down, hips distance apart. And you can lift your hips up. If you want that full back bend, it's 3 in a row. Go for it. Plant the palms next to your ears. We did the camel pose. We did the bow pose. And now maybe upward facing bow if you want it. They're all right. If it's physical, definitely don't do, if it's a physical issue, don't do that full back bend. But if it's just laziness, go for it. Good. I got a few of you with that laziness thing. Good. And slowly but surely, when you're ready, we're just going to melt all the way back down. No rush. You're going to let the feet go wide apart. Let the knees fall together. Kind of how we started. Constructive rest. And then maybe a soft windshield wiper action, left and right with the legs. Let's set the feet flat on the ground. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Reach your left leg up. So it's kind of like thread the needle pigeon, but your left leg is going to reach straight up. That means you might hold the back of your left leg here. The flexible folks like to reach for the calf or the toe. You're welcome to do that on your own. Hmm. And kind of in this way, just breathing in a way that's really setting up your body for relaxation. So again, through the diaphragm, belly expands. And set your left foot down. Cross that same leg over even more so the knees are together. And then reach for your feet. So your ankles, your right hand holds left ankle and vice versa. And you pull the feet away from one another like you're trying to get your knees even tighter. And then you might pull the feet a little towards you as well, grounding the low back. And again, feel the expansion from the belly. Next time you're triggered, whether it's today, tomorrow, in a week, a month, I guarantee you, if you just check in and notice, you'll be breathing really shallow. And sometimes we develop this tendency to deal with problems when we're triggered. So we just need to train ourselves. That happens. It will happen. Just to come back to this style of breathing that's going to put us in a place that we're not so fight or flight. And we realize that everything's all right. And let's go ahead and release the feet, but keep the cross of your leg. Let the knees fall to the left so you're in a nice spinal twist. And then let's come back into the center. Uncross your legs and set your feet flat on the ground. Cross your left ankle above your right knee. Reach your right leg straight up. Again, you can hold the back of your leg here if you want. And let's set the right foot down and cross the legs. Left knee on top of right. Remember this, hold your ankles with your hands and pull the feet away from one another. Flexed ankles will be different here. And then as you release your feet, let the knees fall to the right. And in this final spinal twist. And then let's come back to center for happy baby pose. Last pose of the day. Last warm up pose of the day, I should say. As you spread the collarbone, the shoulder blades, the lumbars, you spread your breath throughout your body. And then let's go ahead and release the feet. As this hour practice starts to come to a close, and we put that practice into relaxation, which means you can just lie on your back, turn your palms up. Some days you drift off to a faraway land when you do this. Some days you're thinking about what you're going to eat for lunch. Sometimes you even fall asleep. What's beautiful about it is that there's benefits for everyone here just by being still and relaxing. And if you feel like you could let go a little bit more, kind of how we started, let's take the biggest inhale of our day. As big as you can. Inhale through your nose, also noticing what it feels like to fill up. Holding for 3, 2, maybe even breathing in a little more here for 1. And then exhale, let it go. And your breath can become negligible, or at least back to its normal cadence. And just let go. If you'd like to start moving, just deepen your breath. And just start to come back to your body. Any little movements, and trying to hold the vibrational set point that you have recalibrated to. You don't feel ready to move, just stay where you are. Otherwise, reach the arms over your head. A nice full body stretch. Maybe point the toes, the full body stretch. And then let's bend the knees. Those of you who've chosen to move, you can roll over to one side. And we'll close practice, either seated or on your back. And just take notice of how you feel. Grateful that you carved out 1 hour of your day to spend on yourself. And ultimately, this practice of healthy body and healthy mind, yoga, we need to remind ourselves this goes back way before almost the selfish part of the practice. It's really meant to help other people, so that you can be a conduit for other people's self-discovery, self-growth, healing. So let's remind ourselves of that as we place our hands together in front of the heart. And take a full breath in through the nose. And open the mouth, let it go. Take one more deep breath in, final Om. Namaste.